So that's just, that wasn't, that's not my talk at all. That's just, when I did the faith over fear, I thought, well, I'd like to talk about it for a moment. So I talked about it for a moment. And now I don't need to go see a therapist, okay?
You're welcome.
But isn't that just simple? It's simple, isn't it?
Yes.
It's just simple. It's not complicated. But I won't give you anything complicated at all because I'm a communicator, not an educator. Now, I have 3 degrees of education, so I've got education, but I'm not an educator at all. Because an educator takes something simple and makes it complicated. I mean, they just do. In fact, if you're not confused, they're not happy. I mean, you can read a book on education, every sentence is a paragraph long. Well, how many people can take 7 lines and keep it together? You can't. So communicators, they take something simple, make it, or educators take something simple, make it complicated. Communicators take things complicated and make it simple. Are you with me? And I'm a pure communicator. Everything I share with you now, for the next hour and a half or however much time I have, everything I share with you, you're going to be able to understand it, and you're going to be able to do it. So I want you to look at your neighbor and say to them, even you can do what John teaches. Go ahead and tell them. Even
you can do what John teaches.
Even you can do what John teaches. You get there though, right? We can get there. We can get there.
We not only are you going to understand it, we're going to be able to apply it, and we're going to be able to have fun. So does that sound good to you?
Even you can do it, John.
You can do it.
Just always remember, while I'm teaching you, I'm on your side. I want you to succeed. I want you to win. John is my friend. I am your friend. And I value you greatly, and I value the opportunity to be here with you today. And I'm very grateful for the opportunity because I love what I do. I do what I love. And I love helping people do well. I had a lady come up to me the other day and said to me, she said, I've watched you, followed you, read your stuff for many, many years. And she said, I just figured out why you're successful. It took her a while, didn't it, huh? So I smiled and I said, well, good, help me. Why am I, you tell me why am I successful? And she said, you're very successful helping people become very successful. And that's exactly what I do. The only reason I'm here today is to lift you, to take you wherever you are and help life be better for you. The only reason I'm here is to mentor you and teach you and allow you to grab principles, concepts, ideas that you can apply in your life, that you can walk out of here and say, my business is about to get better. My family's about to get better. My life's about to get better. And that's why I'm here. And that's why I'm on your side. If I could, I wouldn't be sitting here. If I could, I'd be sitting beside you. And I'd be sitting beside you, and I would be teaching you from up front, but I would be talking to you by the side. And as I'm teaching from up front, but I'm beside you, I would just say, oh my gosh, here, you should write that down. Oh, that's so good. Oh, here, put a little star right there. Okay? You don't want to miss it. Oh, let me, gosh, if you'll do this, let me tell you what will happen over here. Because that's who I am. So that's how I teach. That's how I communicate. I wrote a book that just came out a few months ago. It's a bestseller called The 16 Laws of Communication. Oh, you have that book, don't you? Huh? Oh, I love it. You have the book right there. And if you'll bring it to me right now, I'll sign it to you. Just one. I saw yours first. Quickly. Yeah. This is the book I'm talking about. Right here. 16 Laws of Communication. I love it. He looked at me and said, am I late? Let me put it this way. You weren't first. Just stay there. What's your name? P-H-E-B-E. You have taste in books. Your friend. John. Can I use your pen for a second? Oh yeah, here's your sharp. Thank you, Ted. There, you can have that pen. Okay, come over here. What's your name? Cap.
Yes, K-A-P.
K-A-P.
Yes, sir.
To Cap. You were late. Doesn't matter. You got the signature, didn't you, Cap? There you are, my friend. Yeah, thank you, Cap. Thank you very much. Okay, how we doing? You want, by the way, quit clapping for the book. Buy it.
Yay!
That book will change your life as far as a communicator. Warren Buffett said, the most important skill that you could ever develop to be successful and increase your self-worth is the skill of communication. He is exactly right. Isn't it interesting? Warren Buffett, who's known as a multi-billionaire financer, the person will tell you how to invest all of your money. And when they say, what's the most important skill you could ever have? He doesn't say anything about making money. He says your ability to communicate. Because when you learn how to communicate effectively, then your vision, people buy into it. And I'll give you the 16 laws of communication in this book, and I will promise you each law has just life-changing potential for you. So anyway, that's it. Now, I'm ready to teach. Did I tell you my name is John?
Yes.
And I'm your friend? Did I tell you that? Okay, you got that. Okay, here we go. What I want to do, because there's a lot of emphasis, I was talking to Ray, and of course I'm here to serve him, I'm here to serve you. And he said, well, we're going to be doing a lot about mentoring, and then he asked me to join him in one of his mentoring programs, which I gladly will. I'm very excited about this, and I think I'm going to in the next year. If I'm not mistaken, the logistics he has, right? I don't know. But if I'm not mistaken, I have the privilege of mentoring you 6 times, if I'm not mistaken, in the next year. And you have no idea how exciting that is to me. So hopefully we can really get close and we can really connect, and I can really serve you. But I want to talk to you in this session about how to develop a mentoring mindset. We're going to talk about how do I, in my mind, think correctly, understand the possibilities that mentoring brings to my life. Okay, if you and I were sitting at this table, just the two of us, okay? And you were asking me about success, and you asked me, John, what do you think makes you successful in life? I know what my answer would be. My answer is very simple, and it's very clear. Because I do know really the key to my success. A lot of people say, well, you are the #1 leadership expert in the world. Well, I do leadership. In fact, I have written more material on leadership than any person ever lived in the history of the world. Somebody said, that's amazing. I said, it's not amazing. You just have to be old. You can't do that. I've written 90 books. Well, that's amazing. I had a lady the other day say, you've written more books than I've read. And it's amazing. Well, no, that's not amazing. If you're, I'm 76. I mean, just do them. You got to be old to do these things, okay? But if you said, John, tell me the secret of your success, I can tell you quickly, so simply, the secret of my success is that I am committed every day to personal growth and development. I grow myself every day. Not some days, not most days, not a few times a week. Every day, I'm learning, practicing, developing, trying. You don't know anybody, you know nobody that is more committed to personal growth than I am, and I will circle around and I'll come back to that in a little moment. So let's say we go deeper with the question. I say, well, the secret of my success is my commitment to personal growth. Then let's say that you had the ability to ask what I call those second layer questions, which really get you to the real truth, the meat of what you're wanting to know. And you looked at me and said, okay, what's the most effective way you personally grow? Now, wouldn't that be a good question? If I said personal growth is like, that's my key to my success, and then you say, well, what's your most effective way of personally growing? I would tell you, without question. The greatest growth I've had in my life is because I have submitted my entire life to being mentored by people that were bigger, better, faster, smarter, and more successful than me. That's a fact. Now, that was kind of a lame applause, by the way. But it's okay. The reason it was a lame applause is you're writing things down. And there are some people that are cheerleaders, and so they applaud, and there are some people that are learners. They write it down. So those who like to be the cheerleaders, you kind of applaud while I speak. And then you guys that write it down, ladies, you be the learners. And then after they're done clapping, you can hand your notes to the cheerleader and say, I know it was worthless what you just did there, but here, you can write this down. But the most effective way that I'm going to teach you this, all this stuff is coming out, it's about to come to you. But the most effective way that I grow is that I have submitted myself, committed myself, my entire life to be mentored by people better, bigger, faster, smarter. And let me put it this way. If you're at the head of a class, you're in the wrong class.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so good. I'm just starting to ask myself, how good am I going to be today? I don't know. But it's starting off. The momentum is starting to move. And did you hear what I said? If you're at the head of the class, you're in the wrong class. Because when you're at the head of class, you're not learning. You're telling everybody how good you are, what you've done, the principles you've learned. You're doing all the teaching. You're doing all the talking. You don't learn when you talk. So I have purposely, all of my life, put myself in situations with people that just know so much more than me. And I don't know, I've been in times when I'm at the bottom of the class. A lot of times I'm somewhere in the middle of the class, but I know one thing, I'm not near the top, because the people at the top, I'm listening to them, I'm letting them mentor me, I'm asking them questions, because what happens is, when you ask somebody a question that has already successfully done it, they will very quickly give you the answer. You don't have to grope and search for answers. It's almost like they just help you grow at a faster pace. And so, the great tool that I have in personal growth is I'm mentored all the time, by people. And then if you would ask me, what's the most effective way that I grow other people? I would tell you, I mentor them. Now, I don't do a lot of this because of my time constraints. I don't have the opportunity. So when Ray talked to me, how many times do I have to do this? What way? But I love him so much. I love what he's doing so much, and I love his new journey incredibly. It's just incredible. And so I looked at him and I just said, you know what? I think I want to jump in on this. I do. So you have to understand. If I'm mentoring this year and I'm in a little, 6-package deal or whatever, that I don't even know all about it, but I just know that I'm going to have 6 sessions with you. Okay? I think, or I'm going to be with you, okay? But here's what I know. I don't do this for everybody. There's a huge long line. I kind of just pick my spots, and I just have this kind of intuitive thing. I want to pick my spot with you. And so we're going to have fun. But now let me just really kind of help you understand the power of mentoring and why you have to have a mindset for it. I've had many people mentor me, and you have to be old to know this person, but Peter Drucker, who was in the 70s, 80s, 90s, was the #1 management consultant in the world, and he liked me, and he put me under his wings, and he mentored me. And I was with a small group of I think there were maybe a dozen of us that spent 3 weeks with him up in Claremont, California. And it was all day. Sitting at his feet, listening to him, writing his principles out, asking questions. And then on the very last, when he came to wrap it up, he said, gentlemen, I want you to know that if anything you caught from me, what you need to do is you need to make a commitment to being mentored by others that are better than you, and by mentoring others that you can help show the way. He said, I want you to leave a legacy. And the only way that you can leave a legacy is by pouring yourself into people in an in-depth way where they can not only hear the principles, but where there could hopefully be some kind of Q&A or interaction where you could answer their questions and really help them. And it was life-changing to me. And I walked out of there and I said, I'm going to give my life to mentoring. Now, this would have been back in 1984, probably. And I did, and I have, and I still do. Malcolm Gladwell, who was a wonderful friend, in his book, The Tipping Point, calls mentoring the law of the few. And the law of the few is that what you do is you don't mentor everybody because you can't, but you go mentor the key people who go ahead and mentor the rest of the people. The way I say it today, as I developed it, is I add value to leaders who multiply value to others. That's what I do. That's what I'm doing right here in this room. You're leaders. You have people under your influence. You have teams. So there may be, I don't know how many are here, 1,200, 1,500, what, there's a number. But I'm not talking to 1,200 people today. I'm talking to thousands and thousands and thousands of people because I'm talking to you. And what will happen is if I can add value to you, and if you can pull out some of these principles, you're going to turn around and you're going to add value to other people. It's going to be absolute, it multiplies. See, I live in a compounding, multiplication, intentional world. And that intentional world is, I want to talk to you because you influence a whole bunch of people. I don't need to talk to a whole bunch of people. I just need to talk to the people that influence other people. I wish I had time. I don't. I wish I had time to talk about some of our companies and what we're doing internationally, which is we're literally going in small groups and teaching values, and we're seeing the transformation of entire countries right now. 22 presidents and prime ministers of countries have personally, officially invited our team in to help them learn and practice good values. And it's all out of this understanding of what happens when you're in a group and you're being mentored by somebody who really understands and knows how to help you apply and be successful. So, there are two or three things that mentoring is not. Mentoring is not spending time together, okay? So when you say, well, we've been spending time together, that's called conversation. That's called having dinner. That's called hanging. Now, I'm not opposed to any of that stuff, but that's not mentoring. When you mentor somebody, you have an objective of personal growth. You have a reason why you're getting together. And by the way, mentoring is not therapy either. You know, sometimes people come to mentoring, they want therapy. You know, good Lord. If you want therapy, don't come to me. I'm not a therapist. I have a degree in counseling. For a few years, I did some counseling. I wasn't any good at it. So if you're wanting counseling, you don't want to come to me. First of all, people, they give me a problem, and so I tell them how to fix it. I tear off the sheet and hand them the 4-step remedy and say, be whole. And they come back next month with another problem. And we were starting to become monthly partners. And I would, how many problems can you discover in your life? Is this your gift? And then they would, and then I'd say, well, did you do anything about last month when I gave you those? No, I didn't do anything about last month. And then I got discouraged and got, just worn out. Once in a while they were so desperate they started thinking about going to the bridge, jumping off. And there were 2 or 3 times I offered to drive them there. Can I give you a lift? You know what I mean? Can I give you a lift? And that's a stupid thing, because if I did, by the time I got to the bridge, I'd say, could I join you? You know what I'm saying? Could we hold hands? Could we jump together?
Amen.
You're so much fun. Here's the key. The word mentor is both a verb and a noun. You don't get this anywhere else. A verb in mentoring is something that you do. The noun in mentoring is someone that you are. And you never separate the noun and the verb. Again, the verb is something that you do, the noun is something or someone that you are. So as you develop a mentor, I'm going to teach you now how to develop a mentoring mindset so you can be mentored well and you can mentor well. It's a two-way street. To develop a mentoring mindset, you have to ask yourself continually this question: is this what I do? And is this who I am? Is this what I do is all about example. People do what people see. If this is who I am, that's all about authenticity. This is who you are. Because you cannot give what you do not have. And so in mentoring, you constantly have to possess it to pass it on. That's why you never allow somebody to mentor you that can't do both the verb and the noun. Now, I'll come back to that later. So we're just laying these thoughts out for you. Now, let me just ask you, because I'm really ready to start major teaching here. And let me ask you, are you learning something already? Are we doing?
Yes.
Are we doing?
Yes.
Just check it. Just check it. Just check it. Look at your neighbor and say, you're going to learn something. Go ahead and tell them.
We're gonna learn something.
We're gonna learn something.
In fact, look back at your neighbor and say, why do you think I brought you here?
Yeah.
So here we go. A mentoring mindset has several things going with it. Let me give them to you. And they're not in the order of priority. So number one isn't more important than number four. You just have to have a one if you got a list. And the first thing I want to give you is the fact that mentoring mindset has a passion for growth. Mentoring doesn't work if you don't want to improve your life. So when I began to mentor somebody, the first thing I ask them is, do you want to make your life better? Do you want to be more successful? Do you want to have a better business? Do you want to have a more connected family or community? Because listen to me carefully. The only guarantee that tomorrow is going to get better than today, there's only one guarantee. The only guarantee that tomorrow is going to get better than today is that you're growing today. If you're not growing today, you have no shot of getting better tomorrow. None. So the business at hand and the mindset of mentoring is that I have to be learning today, growing today, asking questions today. This is life-changing. And let me tell you how I know it's life-changing. I'm very young, I'm 25. And I'm having breakfast with a mentor of mine. I've had mentors all my life. I have mentors today. I will die with mentors because there are people that they have something to teach me that I don't know. And if I don't hear it, I'll never do it. And if I never do it, I'll never witness and experience the fruit of it. And so we're having breakfast, and my mentor looks at me at the Holiday Inn in Lancaster, Ohio. Are you from Ohio? Are you from Lancaster? You're kidding. You're from Lancaster? You went to my church? Well, wait a minute. I was there in 1972 to 1980. You were there? Well, you were like a baby. You were a little young boy? From 5 to 8. What's your name? Michael who? Michael, come up here for a second. Michael. Is that who? Oh, come up here with your camera. Or, yeah, come hop up. I'll pull you up. Come on. I'll pull you up. Yeah, let a 76-year-old fat man pull you up. What's your name?
Lisa Huey.
Lisa and Michael. So where did you guys live in Lancaster?
She wasn't with me.
I didn't think you were married at 5 or 6. That's kind of obvious.
Wrong
isn't it?
country.
Right by Seaworthy Park.
Oh, you're right by the park. Well, so you know where Faith Memorial is?
Yeah, it's still there. Yeah.
It's still.
It's not like it was, though, John. I suppressed a lot of my childhood because my father was an alcoholic. And when you taught on the 15 laws of growth and you talked about the blue bus, I walked out every day to get on that bus, Sunday after Sunday after Sunday. Thank you.
Thank you. You were one of my bus kids. Oh my gosh, we took buses and picked people up. Parents didn't go to church. Some of them parents didn't give a rip, to be honest with you. And we would pick them up, and we started with one bus, and we called it Genesis. Then our next bus, we called it Exodus, and Leviticus, and Numbers, and Deuteronomy, and Joshua, and Judges. You got on one of those buses. We had bus kids come. They'd come to church. We'd talk to them about their faith. You're one of my bus kids. This is going to become a kumbaya time. I'm so glad my CEO's down there. And I don't know if you're taking pictures or video. We bust every week over 600 children to church. And this is one of them, and this is the fruit of it.
Of cars down the road. I brought all these memories came back when you taught this. All these memories came back. You talked about a young man that came to your office every Thursday and served you.
Yes.
That was my neighbor down the street.
Wow.
All of it came rushing back.
Isn't this amazing? Well, I'm telling you, I've already been rewarded for coming right now. I mean, in fact, I'm so rewarded. I'm done. Have a good day. Okay, let's get a picture, okay? Let me kind of get it back. Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you. Now, did you get a picture for your camera? Yeah, you're okay? Okay, good. You got it. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, you have made my week, not my day. Well, that was for me a magic moment. My gosh. So,
Come on.
teaching may be ruined now. You may say it was going so well. Let me just say this. When you do the right thing for the right reason and add value to people, you never have any idea until you have a moment like this, the return that you get. And you gave me that. You